Hello guys, this is legendary Miloš Zeman.
Alligator. Ja, alligator.
Back at it again, and today we are doing another UFC tier list. Today I decided to do the welterweights that are ranked tier list. This is supposed to be the top 15, but I think I counted there are 16 here for some reason. Maybe I miscalculated, maybe I put like two of the same fighters, we'll see. But let's start from Sean Brady. I think I'm going to give him the B tier, honestly. I think he is a really good grappler. I think he beat Craig Jones as well in a grappling match, which is very impressive. He has some submissions for sure. He's got skill, but his striking is completely mediocre. Like, it's really, really bad. He gets outstruck by most people he fights, and if he cannot take them down, then he's in trouble. And he couldn't take down Belal Muhammad, who I think has very good takedown defense, but I don't know. I just don't know if his takedown ability is as good as it can be to utilize his grappling. Okay, Gilbert Burns. Honestly, maybe now in C tier. I may correct it. Gilbert Burns is one of my favorite fighters in this division, and he's a very, very good fighter, very well-rounded and stuff, but he's just not the same guy anymore. It's clear. He just lost to JDM. I thought he may lose that fight, but he couldn't finish him. He doesn't have that finishing ability when it comes to like his offensive jiu-jitsu. I mean, he has it, but he doesn't get a lot of submissions, and he mostly just has very good submission defense and against wrestling as well. And he has very dangerous hands. Colby Covington, I'm also going to put C. At this point, not the same guy. I feel like,
let them enjoy themselves. Kind of like what Dustin does when Connor's in bed with his wife. Saturday night, I'm going to bring you to a place you never want to be. I'm going to bring you the 7th layer hair.
I feel like both of these could have been A tier just like a couple of years ago, probably. I may move up Gilbert. I still think he's got more left in him than Colby, but Colby, yeah, he has great cardio and everything. His striking is alright, but it's not that great. He doesn't have much power, and yeah, he just doesn't have the same eagerness to win anymore, which clearly showed in the Leon Edwards fight. Jack Madalena, I think B tier as well. I think he's pretty solid. He's got very, very good striking, good power, defense. The one part that is a weakness of his is definitely the grappling, his takedown defense. But he is slowly improving that. I feel like he can get better in that. However, he showed that he had very good submission defense against Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns had multiple opportunities to finish him there and couldn't do that. So I think he's a very solid fighter, but his lack of wrestling and takedown defense puts him in the middle. Leon Edwards, I mean, he's the champ for a reason, right? He's phenomenal. He's one of the most well-rounded fighters in the UFC right now. He can grapple offensively, defensively very well. He even took down Colby Covington like a couple of times, nearly finished him at one point with some submission attempt in the 5th. He doesn't have much of a finishing ability, but he can still finish people from time to time, like Kamaru Usman fight showed. I think his striking is phenomenal. He's one of the best. He's super fast, super tall for that division, and on top of that, he's also Jamaican born, which makes him the GOAT of the division. Okay.
Jamaican sausage during Jamaican sausage event.
Let's go Jamaican sausage. Chicken, where's the sausage?
Joaquin Buckley, I don't really think Joaquin Buckley is that good. I mean, his grappling isn't that good, but he can wrestle alright, but it's not that good. And his striking, well, it's quite solid and he has power, but there are much better strikers in this division. So I think he's alright, but not that good. Kevin Holland, I honestly don't think... I don't know, Kevin Holland beat him a while ago. Would he beat him now? I'd say probably still would beat him. That doesn't mean he would be higher, but I think he's still probably a better fighter. Maybe he has worse takedown defense, but he has more of a submission game, and I still think he's a better striker. He's taller, he's powerful, but at the end of the day, he doesn't have the same heart needed to compete at the highest level. He just flows, comfortably losing instead of trying to do everything to win, and he doesn't have a great takedown defense. Ian Machado Gary.
Going. Every single one of you is talking about me.
Also beat here, I think. I think he's pretty alright, but I don't think he's that phenomenal. At one point I actually rated him very high. I thought that he was a really, really good fighter because he was finishing a lot of people. He looked great. I mean, his debut was terrible. Like, it was terrible. He got rocked badly, and technically he seemed very bad. So my initial thoughts of him were that he's not good at all. But the more I watched him, he's actually very technical on the feet. He's tall. He's very, very good. We don't know how good his takedown defense is. And now we know that he doesn't have the same finishing ability. He got some finishes early on, but he couldn't finish Neil Magny, who most people finish at this point. And he also couldn't finish Jeff Neal. That was a really, really close fight. And I feel like the only reason he actually won that was because Jeff Neal didn't really want to go for it. Vicente Luque, I'm sorry, I'm gonna put him in D. I think he's completely done. At this point, I think he is completely done. Like, he used to have a grand chill, an aura about him. He actually had a very good submission game with the Darce choke. Very powerful, but his technique isn't ideal. He lacks defense, and now he's been knocked out before, so his chin isn't the same, and he pretty much quit his last fight, so he just isn't the same guy. However, in his prime, he was a pretty dangerous fighter. Neil Magny, I think he probably has more in him than Vicente Luque. He won his last fight, I think, against, I don't remember his name, but a Canadian. I think his name was Mike or something, I don't know. But he was getting beat up in that fight as well. He usually gets beat up at this point, like he's a gatekeeper. He's still a legendary fighter. I mean, he's been in there against everybody. You got to respect him. He fights everyone. He doesn't duck people. But at the end of the day, most of the top fighters just destroy him easily, and he can't put up much of a fight. Belal Muhammad. I'm gonna put him in A tier. I know a lot of people hate on him. He isn't exciting, but so is Leon. Leon isn't exciting either. Don't act like he is, to be honest. Some of Belal's performances are sometimes even more exciting than Leon's.
What did he say?
Like the Sean Brady performance, to be honest, probably beats any performance in terms of excitement of any of the recent Leon Edwards fights. I think he's extremely well-rounded. He has improved a lot in his striking. He can strike very well. He's quite durable. He wrestles well. He just finds ways to win. That is very important. He finds ways to win. He has very, very good takedown defense, and I think he's just very good in general. I think people do not give him enough credit because they don't like him, but I personally quite like him. Not as much his fighting style, more his personality, but he's a very, very good fighter. However, I'm still picking Leon to beat him when they fight. Okay. Jeff Neal. I'm gonna put him above these two black people.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
And yeah, I think he's very, very solid. I think he's got the skills. He has pretty much everything he needs to be extremely successful. He's powerful. He has a great chin. He has very, very good takedown defense. He's just a hard guy to beat. A very, very hard guy to beat. But at the end of the day, he just doesn't have the heart in him. Like Kevin Holland, he's comfortable losing a lot of the times, like the Ian Machado Gary fight showed. Instead of actually pressing a bit more, throwing some punches, he just comfortably lost a close fight when he could have actually done things to win it, but instead he just walked it down Ian Gary and didn't really throw anything. If he threw a bit more punches, like not many more, but a little bit more, he probably could have gotten that fight. Okay, Michael Page. Huh. I'm gonna put him below Jack Madalena, whatever his name is, and above Ian Gary. I think he's a phenomenal striker. I think pure striking, he could probably fuck up everybody in this division. I mean, some of these fights will be tough. Ian Gary, maybe not so much. I think he's gonna beat Ian Gary. Soon they're going to fight. But I think why I'm rating him so low is because his takedown defense and grappling is just not good. I mean, Kevin Holland was able to take him down, hold him, and before in some of his fights he also had trouble against wrestlers and stuff. He is a phenomenal striker, very unpredictable, powerful, phenomenal, and very fun to watch, but unless he improves on his takedown defense and wrestling, he's gonna lose to a lot of people in this division. Shavkat Rakhmonov, I'm also going to put in S tier behind the champ, because the champ has proven himself the most. However, Shavkat Rakhmonov is phenomenal. He's also well-rounded. He can wrestle, he can grapple. He's an ultimate finisher. Like, he gets, I think his record is all finishes, and he has 18 fights or something, if I am correct on that number, which is crazy. Like, nobody has that many finishes, pretty much every fight. And he has been getting finishes in the UFC as well. He has quite a few fights at this point at the UFC, and he finished pretty much everybody. Not pretty much, actually everybody. He's very, very powerful. He's a good striker. He doesn't move his head, that's a weakness, but he seems to have good cardio, a good shin. His probably two weaknesses is that he doesn't move his head and that his takedowns aren't ideal. His wrestling, he has very good grappling, crazy ground and pound, but for him it's a bit hard to take people down, because he couldn't take down Jeff Neal, and he took a while to take down Wonderboy, who other people have taken down, like Belal Muhammad, but not many weaknesses. Phenomenal. Could even beat the champ, maybe. Probably the only guy that could, in my opinion, right now. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I'm gonna put him alongside these people. They're all kind of washed at this point. And in his prime, he was phenomenal. Like I said, in his prime, I would put him very, very high. And against almost every striker, he would still win. But the thing is, against any grappler wrestler that is good, he just struggles. His takedown defense isn't there anymore. And the Gilbert Burns fight showed that, the Shavkat fight showed. I guess Shavkat, he did defend quite well, but Shavkat just doesn't have the same wrestling. But especially the Belal Muhammad fight showed that he just couldn't really stop the takedowns anymore like he used to. Usman, I'm still gonna put A. Just like these guys, he's also a bit washed, but not that washed, I think. I think when he was the champ, the number one guy, he was far above the rest, I think. And he was just destroying everybody pretty much. Yeah, Colby Covington gave him tough fights, but stylistic hard matchup there for him. But he still beat Colby twice. Even after his tough fight against Leon, I think he returned too fast for the third fight. He just didn't look the same, because after that KO he was hesitant and that stuff. He should have come back. Should have, returned a bit later. And then he could have had a chance. That second fight, he was destroying Leon Edwards. And eventually Leon got the perfect shot on him, but just a little bit more and he would have gotten that victory. I still think he beats pretty much almost everybody. Not Shavkat, probably. Belal, I think he beats Belal, but he pretty much beats everybody, I think, except Shavkat at this point. Actually, I'm gonna put Burns in the B tier. I still think he has some more left in him. He's still dangerous and more than some of these guys, but still not the same guy. I hope Burns actually has success in the future. I don't think he's got much of a future anymore, maybe a couple more fights, but I'm hoping he will do well, because he is one of my favorite fighters in that division. Great personality, and also just a lot of the times he is fun to watch, but not always. So guys, this is my list. two people in the S tier. I think they are probably the best. They are the only ones that could beat each other in my opinion right now. Belal is very underrated. Usman still has it in him. And yeah, this is my list. Hit the like, hit subscribe, comment down below whether you agree or disagree with my list. I'm out.
Alligator. Ja, alligator.